Welcome to this time of studying the Word. This is your almost seven. I thought it was to just come in, speak to you tonight on the importance of building up your spiritual man. I don't know why this. The importance of building your spiritual man. That is important. Very, 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 very important. We cannot overemphasize that. And we want to share with you tonight before you take your sleep on how important it is to make sure that you are equipped on every side. So again, we want to welcome you for joining us. This is your humble servant, Bishop Gabriel Latner, on this subject matter, building your spiritual man. I don't know why this thing keep going up. Building your spiritual man. Thank you for joining us. And so we want to start off by first and foremost telling you that most times, because of security, we tend to equip ourselves. I don't know why this won't keep going on. I don't know why. On the importance that is attached to it. And so we will focus on making sure that we build wealth, making sure that in the process we have a home, and all is tied to security. Security, want to be secure. You want to be financially secure. You know that you have a house, that you have a place. You after because you want to be financially secure, so you will do all that is within your power to make sure that these things are things that you will run after in this life. And so it's important for you to kind of take that, for you to kind of take that into consideration. But why are you doing that? My question is, are you building your spirit man? The word of God says man is a spirit. So you must understand that the reason why you exist is because you have a spirit man. There's a spirit man that lies within you. So while you are busy building your physical house, building your finances, building your dream, building everything concerning you that will bring you to that place of security, which is important. I'm not downplaying that. I'm not telling you that it's not important. It is. But everything that you desire to accomplish, physically, first and foremost, is something that you first and foremost have to imagine is birthed in your mind. And your mind is not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. So that is birthed in your mind. This life is, somebody asked the question, what is this live stream all about? The live stream is all about building your spiritual man. You can build your house, you can build your wealth, you can build your purpose, you can build your dream. But that is just 50% of you that you are building. There is a part of you that needs to be built, and that is the spiritual component of you. The spiritual component of you that will be resilient. The spiritual component of you that will be committed and determined. The spiritual component of you that even when your body is tired and you just can't understand, that spirit man is built to the point that you can stand and say, I will keep going. So in order for you to build the spirit man, I want you to know that there is a season of building of character and moral excellence. That's a season. Everything you desire to accomplish has a season. And the reason why I want to kind of share with you this evening is so that there can be a mental shift in your mind. If you take an evaluation of where you were last night or last year, you will understand that you may be at the same place, or if possible, you may have regressed. But what do I do to advance? What can I do to improve myself? What can I do to develop your spiritual man? You must understand first and foremost that the way God deals with you for your spiritual growth is different from the way he deals with you to step into the office of whatever your vocation may be or your commission may be. So when you want to develop your spirit man, there's something you have to take into consideration. First and foremost, let's come to building a house. How do you build a house? There is no house that just appears. You will observe that every house that one desires to build, the first thing it starts with is the foundation. Why? Because the foundation is the one that holds the building up. In the absence of a foundation, you do not have a house. So the first thing they will do is build a house. Now, what they will do is to make sure that the foundation is secure and solid. Because everything else rests on the foundation. Everything else, from the pillars to the walls, rest on the foundation. The windows that you put there, the doors that you put on the house, they have their own weight. They rest on the foundation. So the foundation holds the weight of the building. Whatever you put in that house as your material gains, whatever furniture you put in a house, rest on the foundation. That's why you are always told to make sure that the foundation is solid, because if the foundation is faulty, if the foundation is not solid, in few years, you see, and not only one of the heaviest things that the house carries is the roof. The roof rests on the walls. The walls rest on the foundation. So you will notice everyone involved is depending on someone, in as much as the roof rests on the wall. First of all, you have people who build the whether your roof is done by a roofing tile, whatever it is, they will put something there, whether it be a plank or whatnot, to put the roofing tiles on. So the planks or whatever you put is resting on something. And that thing is resting on the walls of the building. And the walls of the building is resting on the foundation of the building. So if the foundation collapses, the building comes down. So in order for you to have a firm building, you must have a firm foundation. Now, in order to have a firm foundation, that entails of making sure that whatever you are building with that foundation is solid. Most times people use concrete, people use the mortar mix with crushed rocks and various things to make sure the foundation is solid. So when that foundation gets solid, then you start to carry the walls up. You cannot carry the walls up without a solid foundation. So it is in life. Most people try to fulfill things, and when they start to accomplish their goals, when they start to accomplish their dreams, when they start to accomplish their purpose, they do not take off the time to build the foundation. So by the time they start to build the walls of their dreams, the walls of their purpose, it starts to collapse. Why? Because they did not take time to build a foundation. And so they get frustrated. They are so troubled. Now, the interesting thing about building this foundation is, first of all, it comes to a question. Who can I depend on to build this foundation with me? Not in the absence of me, with me. So the person or the power to depend on to build this foundation is God. It's interesting. God is interested in working along with you to build this foundation. Why? Because it is his desire that you succeed. You know? But for you to succeed, you got to invite him in the process. When you start to build the foundation, God is so interested. He's interested in your assignment. He's interested in your purpose. He's interested in your destiny. Fully. He's interested. He's interested in that. So, since he's interested in it, he comes and says, just invite me. I want you to invite me. So when you invite the master architect, you see, it's one thing to have a structure in your mind, and it's another thing to put that structure that is in your mind in the physical. Why? Because in as much as you may have the structure in your mind, which is the dream and the purpose, you may not be the architect to make it a reality. No, you may not. You need someone to help you establish that structure and make it a reality. And that is God. So his desire is for you to excel in every area of your life. So your assignment is for you to always be connected to your destiny. Why? Because there are thousands of people waiting for your fulfillment. Find out the reason why you are on this side. Not everyone will be given such a unique assignment as you have. So God decided that if you must be successful, if someone must lay or study this foundation and depend on it to become successful, then there are some things that you need to take into consideration. And that is I want to build my spiritual house. How can I do it? You can build your physical house, I said, but when it comes to building a spiritual house, there is a force, which is God. That is the architect when it comes to building your spiritual house. And you need to turn that to him and say, I don't want to be incomplete. I just don't want to build a physical house and don't build a spiritual house. How can I do that? And there's a way to do that. The first thing is, he says in Revelation chapter 3, verse 20, he says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. And if any man hears my voice and open the door. So let's look at that. If any man hears, the Bible says, now faith cometh by hearing. And it is specific as to what you hear. It's saying hearing the word of God. So that's why he was specific. He said, if any man hears not any voice, not anyone speaking. He said, if any man hears my voice, he makes it personal. If any man hears my voice, and he will have to do something. That is, I have a part to play. But before I play the part, I must be invited. Why? Because man is a tripartite being. Body, soul, spirit. Before salvation, and I believe after salvation, you got spirit, soul, and body. Now, not only is man a tripartite being, man is also at liberty. You are a free moral agent. So decisions that you will make in this life rest wholly and solely with you. So he cannot bust the door open. He cannot push the door open. He cannot force the door open. He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. What kind of door is he standing to and knocking? That's the spiritual aspect. That's the door of your heart. Your heart have a door. Because that's why he said, guide your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. So he says, who stands out a guide? When you see a guide is always at the door. A guide is always at the gate of the door. Where entrance is, there is security. There's security. So he says that he stands at the door and he keeps knocking. And he said, if any man hears my voice and open the door, not just hearing, but opening. And most times we will hear and hear and hear and hear again and do not open. So now we will postpone the opening of the door. Because you see, when it comes to building your spirit man, he's the architect, so he directs it as to how it needs to be done. So the first thing you need to do is to give him access. And when you give him access, you give him control. So he says, if any man hears my voice and open the door, I will come in unto him. He didn't say I will come in unto them. He makes it personal. He said that one that opens the door of his heart, I will come in unto him. Why? Because I know this man is ready, or this woman is ready to build his whole spiritual house. I will come in unto him. And guess what he says? Interestingly, he adds another subject matter, which is very important. He said, and not only will I come in unto him, I will sup with him. So guess what? When it comes to supping, it means there's provision as to the food being made available. and the place to eat the food. That means you have a place of eating. He said, I will come in and I will sup with him. Then he asked us. He said, then he with me. That means we are together. And that's where the process starts. That's where the process starts. He won't come in to build the house unless you invite him. And when he comes in to build the house, and you give him access, you give him control, when he comes in, then building starts. Why? Because there's a process. He wants to, not just for you to build a fixed physical structure, he wants to help you build the spiritual structure. Because there are things he wants to fulfill in your life. There are things he wants to see. He wants to see, one of the things he wants to see is, he wants to see a diverse possibility of life in your life. God is not just concerned about you knowing him or having a transformed life, but there's a demonstration of the manifestation of his power. You're moving from one point to another. You see, God understands this and he wants you to understand that. He's not just increasing you, but the way he wants to increase you, he wants to increase you where you will be beyond your imagination. But the first thing to do is to submit, giving access, and giving control. And then building starts. Anytime one desire to build a house and you have in your mind, you tell the architect, this is what I want to see, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. When you have said it, then what is done is they take it from your mind and put it on a paper. And then the person takes that and show it to you. Is that what you want? Say yes. Then the person goes to make it a reality. Not you. The person goes to make it a reality. So that's what it is. In order for you to become successful, nothing missing, nothing lacking. Don't just build wealth. No. Don't just have bits of cars. And everything comes under security because of fear. You want to make sure you are financially secure. You are comfortable. But you could build all these things and still don't feel the security or the fullness that you desire to feel within you. Why? Because there's a void. And that void can only be filled by the presence of God. You know, I believe one thing, and I said it numerous times. Loneliness in one's life is not the absence of people. You can have 10,000 people surrounding you. You can be a crowd and still be lonely. Loneliness in one's life, when you evaluate it and study it as an individual, you will get to understand that is the absence of God. Because you can have the house, you can have the car, you can have the friends, you can have the accolades, you just name it. You can be well off and still be lonely. Why? Because the solving of a person's loneliness is not done by the presence of people. What takes away that loneliness is the presence of God. That's where the spiritual hope starts. That's what you need to, first and foremost, that's where the foundation is. God, build this foundation. And if Jesus tarries, tomorrow I will tell you the materials you need to use to build the foundation. But you need to invite the architect. There are times you may have a structure in mind, something you want to do, and you bring your architect and you explain to him, and then he tells you, no, you don't need to do it like this. He say, can I give you my candid opinion? And you will give your, so now what you want to do, his idea will make it look better, even though you're birthing something in your mind. But his suggestion, his view will make it look better and good, could make it stand out because of his contribution. He said, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I never thought about that. Why? Because there is someone whose purpose, is to design your dream and help you birth that dream become a reality. Understand that. When you have invited him to come into your house, when you are inviting him to take residence, when you are giving him access. Because it's one thing to give him access, and it's another thing to give him control. Not because you invited him in, it means he has control. No. You can open the door and invite someone in your house. That does not mean that they have control of your house. They are just invitees. But when you tell that person, I want to turn this house over to you, to design it, to fix it the way you think it will be best, then it takes over from there. So when I talk to you again, I'll be talking to you on what are the materials you need to build your house. Thank you for watching. This is Building Your Spiritual House. Share this video with someone. If Jesus tarries, I will come to you again on part 2 of this. Until then, this is your humble servant, Bishop Gabriel Lardner, saying, God bless and goodbye.